You're watching Bear Down Sports, the best Chicago Bears content. Now buckle up and bear down.
Bears fans, Mason Nation, welcome back and bear down as always. Guys, I'm a little frustrated. If some of you guys saw yesterday or the day before even, I tried to schedule an Austin Booker video. I had it set to release last night. Wanted it to be there for the weekend. And YouTube kept telling me, you're naughty, you're naughty, you're naughty, you're naughty. You can't do this video. You're naughty, you're naughty, you're naughty. And so I had to take it down, try again, take it down, try it again. And now I know what Swift is talking about when he says those all 22 videos are a pain in the butt. I had 20 minutes of Austin Booker video broken down with his elite moves, with his potential, and YouTube's an asshole. Love you, YouTube. No, I don't. So we're going to talk about the things I talked about in there, and then I'm going to try to release a video later just showing some of his highlights. But, guys, there's so much to be excited about with Austin Booker. It's not all talk. He should have been a third-round pick. In fact, those who were following me on draft night, I had, after day one, a poll out. I'll show that poll on here. Who should we take at 75? Kieran Amagaji. And Austin Booker was another one of those options, and we ended up with two of those guys. The other ones ended up going at different times. We didn't get Marshawn Newland or whoever the fourth one was. He's not a Bear, so who cares? But Austin Booker is a special, special prospect. So what I put for the highlight of this one is Austin Booker, the next Maxx Crosby. For those who don't know, Maxx Crosby was drafted in the 4th round as well. There's connections there. We're going to go through those connections. We'll make it as quick as we can. There's a lot to go through. But let me pull one thing up real quick here with their RAS scores. Let me get my mug out of the face, out of the way, out of the everything you want to on paper. But the reality is where they compare is on the field. When you look at their tape, there's something special about Austin Booker, and it's his burst, it's his drive, and as Eric Washington, the defensive line or the defensive coordinator for the Bears, said, he's slippery. And I want to show that in some of my highlights, but I can't do that on this video, on this live, but I'm going to do it. I promise you guys I'm going to release a little highlight video where I'm not going to try to monetize. I'm going to give credit to everybody else. I'm going to do something different with it and try to get it to go through. But there, if you just look up Austin Booker highlights, you're going to love what you see. So let's first listen to that from Eric Washington. I want to show what he said. This is 2 weeks ago at rookie minicamp. So listen to what he says about Austin Booker.
Austin obviously comes into the league with some traits that were very attractive. I think Foose used the adjective slippery. I'm curious if you could expand just on the things that caught your eye and just watching some of the things he can do that said, yeah, we really want to work with this and develop it.
With no question. One of the things that for me, for rushers, the energy, he has a tremendous amount of energy. He never seems to be out of the play, either early or as the play extends with the quarterback, especially as a rusher. And, when you talk about slippery, it's just hard for the protection, either the person assigned to him or whatever, to get a solid shot on him. He's always rotating and flipping his hips at the right timing so he can continue to advance toward the quarterback. And so he's got that innate feel and ability. You're not going to be able to get a consistent shot on him. And so that's going to help him to continue to advance toward the quarterback. It's a great thing. I was watching him out there yesterday, and you kind of see that in some of the drill work with Travis and Brian.
All right, so there's the There's the point I want to get to with that. So he's slippery. He's got good hips. He's got good bend and move. And when you look at it, he's got multiple moves. So I want to show you guys several things on Austin Booker. So let's go through here first. Let's show his PFF here. Look at the game. So this is PFF, guys. I know a lot of people haven't seen this, but look. So those are the teams. This is the week number on the left, the teams they played, his position. He was right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker. In a 3-4 scheme, that's what you call the edge that comes up on the line and rushes more often. A lot of people don't know that. Most people do know that. But then the P means they played or part-time. The S means start. So this is his only year. Let me remove me. In YouTube, that game, there's a play in there where his burst off the line. Let me go back and show his RAS score here. Look at his burst. This is the RAS from that I put in there. Look at his burst on his 10-yard split. So on the right-hand side there, 10-yard, 20-yard, 40-yard dash. His 40-yard is quicker than it showed at the Combine. It was quicker at the Big 12 Pro Day. But look at his 10-yard split and his 20-yard split. This is the most important thing for an edge rusher. Getting that burst off the line, getting pressure, pushing back into the offensive tackle. When he did that in the Illinois game, he pancaked the offensive lineman. He put him on his butt. And sorry, I'm a little spaced here. I had a really good video lined up for this. Put him on his butt, and then he started getting more time after that. The BYU game, he put a lot of pressure on. The Texas game was really good. And by the time the Kansas State game rolled around, he looked like a pretty well-refined college athlete. In the beginning games, you can see where he got double-teamed, where his base, where his legs weren't big enough. There was a huge difference in those, and he's progressed significantly. It's pretty consensus. Oh, when I remove my camera, I'm also removing my sound. Well, that's son of a gun. Thanks, Swift. Appreciate that, buddy. I had a great video lined up here. All right, so sorry, guys. I didn't realize that. So let's just look here. BYU, 42 plays, 46 for Texas. Then he got more playing time. He was basically playing a starter role. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. So let me show you here from The Athletic what they said. And then I want to get to that. So The Athletic on the background, look at the top there, 6'4", 253 pounds. And the reason for that is look at the top here. At the Combine, he was 6'4", 240. They had his hands slightly bigger. Sometimes there's just a slight discrepancy on these things, guys. They're not going to be perfect. But see at the Pro Day how his 40 was a little bit quicker. He was still upset that his 40-yard wasn't even quicker than that. And they have his 10-yard split even shorter than that. So you combine those together, but look at how he gained 13 pounds between the Combine and Pro Day. And the Pro Day was the latest one. For every single school, the Big 12 Pro Day was the very last one. So it was, there was, I think, a month between the Combine and the Pro Day. He put on 13 pounds there. Now, when he was interviewed, when he got drafted by the Bears, I think Courtney Cronin was the one who asked him what he weighed. And he said, you know what, I lose 8 pounds every game in sweat weight because I'm working my butt off. And when you watch his tape, that's the realistic of it. He's freaking burning every single play. In fact, I think there was one. Hold on here. We're going to try to cheat a little bit. We're going to do one. I think this one didn't get flagged. God, I don't want to do too much though, because I don't want to get in trouble, guys. So I'm going to do just a little bit here. Let's see the right play. So that's Austin Booker that I circled right there. Swim move right there. That's not the one I want to show. And I had so much of this lined up. We're not going to play it too much until I find the right one. But his burst, I mean, all of these. Let's just go through. He's at the bottom here in the screen. burst, pushes into him, gets double teamed, doesn't stop. Look at his motor. He's going to end up getting the tackle on. He's going to come from behind and get the tackle. All right, I got to remove this because I don't want to get in trouble. This is what I got. This is what I got flagged for. So freaking pissed off about it. So let's look at the Athletic from Dane Brugler. This is the Beast article that comes out, and they had him ranked. Dane Brugler had him ranked number 9 for all defensive ends. And what I did here was I put mine up. Let me put it to the side. Maybe that will be better. I put mine up here. This was my pre-draft rankings that I had. The only thing I've added here is on the very far right side where they actually ended up getting drafted. And if you see the discrepancy there, I mean, there's going to be a different order that the teams have than we have all the time. But I had him as the number 9 overall prospect. Dane Brugler had him as the number 9 overall prospect. Third-round talent. Several people did. The only reason that he wasn't going higher was because of his lack of experience. As I showed you, he only played 1 year and only 505 total snaps and never as a starter. So that worried some teams. So you look at that 5th round, and then at the bottom, some of those got drafted later. But you look at his stats. Austin Booker right there, 6 plays between a sack, hit, or hurry. He was putting pressure on constantly all year. He received Big 12 awards. He was all conference for Big 12. He led the team in tackling, led the team in sacks, but his missed tackle rate was down too. He's great in tackling coverage. He sets the edge really well. And I know some people, that's what they were worried about. That's what they were worried about with some of the top guys in the draft. Do they set the edge properly? And Austin Booker does. His run defense is phenomenal. I'm gonna release a video. I promise you guys I'm gonna get a video out there so you can see it with his actual playing. He sets the edge. The only thing is, he's not quite big enough to handle the double teams yet. But at the end of the year, as we got around to the end of those, go back to this one here. As we got to the end of the year, by the end of these games here, he really was able to pull through some of those double teams. He did a really good job. So I'm going to show you guys the Athletic. A lot of people like to see this stuff. Not everybody has access to it. So Austin Booker is the middle child of 3, grew up in Indianapolis. Parents Taylor, met at Taylor University, where his father, Dwayne, played football, also played Liberty, and his mother, Katie, played baseball. He was a 3-star recruit. Booker was the number 3 defensive lineman in the 2021 recruiting class, number 9 recruited in Indiana. You can pause this, read the whole thing if you want to. I'm going to leave it up there for you. His first offer arrived early in his junior season from former Cincinnati defensive line coach Chad Wilt, who played college football with Booker's father. After his junior season, Booker added offers from several Big Ten programs: Indiana, Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Purdue, Pac-12 programs, Arizona and Washington, Big 12 programs. Wilt joined Minnesota's coaching staff, so his dad's teammate, and that's where the connection was. The kid got him to come play at Minnesota. After redshirting in 2021 and not seeing much action in 2022, Booker entered the transfer portal. He received plenty of interest, and most expected him to return home and play for Indiana, where Wilt had been recently hired as the Hoosiers defensive coordinator. However, he made a football decision and chose Kansas. His older sister, Ariana, played college basketball. Blah, blah. Younger sister was a standout basketball player at high school. All right. After 1 season with the Jayhawks, Booker opted out of the 2023 bowl game, skipped at his remaining eligibility, and entered the NBA draft. When he was asked about it, he said, I saw that I could compete at the college level. I proved to myself that I could do it, and I wanted to go to the next level to learn there. He wasn't interested in having to pad his stats to become a second-round pick. That's what I love about all the guys. When you listen to all his interviews, all the guys Ryan Poles getting, they're high-character guys that work hard, have motors. They really do buy into the hits principle. He is a hits principle guy. He puts his nose down. He goes to work. He's one of those guys that I freaking love to see what he does. And evidenced by the fact from the combine at 240 to his pro day at 253, put on 13 pounds between combine and pro day. That's pretty significant. And it wasn't just eating cheeseburgers. You look at the pictures side by side. The one here on the left was when he was first transferred from Minnesota, Kansas, before he played a snap for Kansas. So this is when he first transferred there. The one in the center is after his after his junior season at Kansas, where he got his playing time this last year. And you can see the change in his physique. You can see a little bit more on his legs, but his arms are ripped out. But then this is him at Bears rookie minicamp, and you can see the legs are already beefed up. So he wasn't just putting on cheeseburger weight. The dude was going to work, and I freaking love it. I love that he's taking this seriously. And then if you listen to Eric Washington in the last press conference from this week at OTAs, he said immediate impact player. Those are the words he used. Now, they didn't put a lot of pressure on him. They didn't make it sound like, oh, yeah, this kid's going to be a stud. He's going to be starting off with Sweat. He's going to be the man. They didn't put all that pressure on him. He's a rookie. And just like Gervon Dexter last year, took a couple games to get going, and you hear the criticism and you hear all the crap. The last 5 games of the season, he had 4 sacks in those 5 games. Austin Booker is that same type of situation where he's going to rotate in right off the bat with DeMarcus Walker. They've already talked about different roles for Gervon Dexter, Austin Booker, DeMarcus Walker. There's going to be a rotation, and he's going to get the experience. He's already proved at the college level that he can do it there, and then he's proved that he can do it throughout the season as he increased his numbers, increased his stats, and his motor never stopped. I freaking love this. I'm so excited, guys. I think there's a clear and definite reason why we haven't signed a defensive end at this point. I'm not saying we're not going to, but when you look at camp and you look at the excitement they have over Eric Washington working with this new staff, working with this group of defensive ends, working with this group of linemen, that's his specialty. He's a line coach. It's going to be pretty freaking fun to watch Austin Booker. Let me pull up one last. This is probably the one I could get more trouble for. We'll just see what happens. I'm a renegade, guys. I'm an outlaw. So here's the ghost move. This is the one everyone talks about. And I would have showed you in all of my video stuff I put together at the beginning of the year. He tried this 2 or 3 times, and he got flattened on his butt. He got flattened hard. He was a rookie, basically. He hadn't played before this year. But as the year goes along, that's what I wanted to show with the tape. It's not all pretty on him, which is why I think some teams passed on him. But if you pay attention and you watch the film from that Illinois game, which was the 3rd game, into the Oklahoma game where he got a lot of pressures, into this Kansas State game where it's near the end of the year, there's significant improvement. And if you're Austin Booker and you're saying, I saw I could do it at the college level, I wanted to come to the NFL level, what he's saying is, I want to come learn from NFL coaches, just like the Maxx Crosby type situation. And for those that don't know, the Bears defensive line coach was the Raiders assistant defensive line coach when they drafted Maxx Crosby. There's the connection that they keep bringing about Maxx Crosby. And he said, the Bears defensive line coach said, there's a lot of traits that they can see in Austin Booker that remind him from Maxx Crosby. And he worked specifically with Maxx Crosby. And then a similar head coach they have in the offseason for working out, for getting ready for the draft, for getting ready for the combine, for getting ready for all that stuff, has worked with Maxx Crosby as well. And he put Maxx Crosby in connection with Austin Booker, and they actually talked on the phone. They DM'd. They were in connection, and Maxx Crosby told him, Austin Booker said this, Maxx Crosby told him, hey, if you ever need anything, reach out to me. And that's just freaking cool to have Maxx Crosby, who many consider the best defensive edge in the league, top 5 if you don't, to be someone who understands this game, who came to the next level, and who has proven by his motor. That's what Maxx Crosby is known for. Relentless, never stopping, in on every play. His moves get him there, and then he doesn't stop. That's the same style of play as Austin Booker. And is he going to be a home run? Who knows? But what I can tell you, after watching extensive tape on him, after breaking this crap down over and over and over again, I can tell you he has just as good a chance as any other 2nd-round pick, because that's where I would put him now after watching this, and next year where he would have come out if he gained weight, if he put on more muscle, because as you watch this, all he needs, he's got the burst, he's got the moves, and he's refining them. Were they perfect at the beginning of the year? No. Were they perfect by the end of the year? No. But it's fun to watch his progress. It's fun to watch what he did throughout the year, and which is why I'm going to try to get to you guys that video. I'm so frustrated that video got flagged, because it wasn't even by the Big Ten or by college networks. It was by some other YouTuber who had modified his content and put a video out on Austin Booker that I got flagged for. And I can do an appeal and I can do all that crap, and I'll try to get it out, guys. But I'm going to show here. This is This is the ghost move. Oh, that was good. I skipped forward just guessing. Here's the ghost move. This is him. You see the left tackle from Kansas State. He's standing up in a standing position on the edge there. He's going to fake push with his left hand to get the offensive lineman to try to defend him. Then he's going to duck. It's a risky move, and not many people do it really well. And when they push, he ducks under, cuts the edge, and it exposes the quarterback wide open. So let's let this roll for just a second here. Fake and duck under. He's got him. This is the play everyone talks about when they talk about Austin Booker. But you see in that, and then here's the last play. I'll put a little pause here. This is his run defense. There's so much I wanted to show you guys. I'm frustrated, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm not looking at the comments. I apologize. I really had a lot I wanted to get to with Austin Booker, and it was like a 40-minute video, 20 minutes of film, and 20 minutes of me talking about him, showing the stuff I'm showing right now. But let's do this last play, and then we'll hope nothing gets flagged there, and we'll call it good. Austin Booker there. Run defense, breaks through, contains, love it. There's other plays. Yes, he didn't tackle perfectly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He's not perfect, but everything you watch from him throughout the year, significantly better than the start of the year, and he was constantly step by step improving. You guys know me by now. I love the guys that go show constant improvement, that put the work in, that have the motors, and he's that guy. So let me just add one more time, put on here. So there's his size. This is the poll that I put out there. This was after day one, or this might have been right before the draft. Either way, this is the poll I put out there. I said, at 75, who do you guys want? Because these are all guys that I thought might make it 75. Who do you guys want? 2,400 people voted. Kieran Amagaji was the number one, and he got a lot of hype. And he came in, and we knew we needed depth. Larry Borum is not an option for swing tackle. This is perfect. Kieran Amagaji might take over Braxton Jones. It's not popular, but I'm telling you guys, I don't think Braxton Jones is a scrub. Even Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus said, you know what, this year he's probably the swing tackle, but he has a chance to come in and compete. Braxton Jones is so undervalued, and I don't understand it. He really plays at an elite level, but he gets a lot of crap because of the bull rushes that he took early on in his career, but he was a fifth-round rookie who stepped up. This isn't a Braxton Jones video. This isn't a Kieran Amagaji video, but you guys can get me on a tangent. I am very vocal about my opinions, but I think it was a great pick. It's who I wanted at 75 too. But other options that were out there, Rook or Horhorho and Marshawn Nealand, who ended up both going. Austin Booker was the one that dropped. Austin Booker, if you watched me live, I did first round live with me. I was on the Bears Country podcast on day 3 with them, and I was on there when that happened. I think, man, I can't remember where I was day 2 or 3. Guys, that was a blur. That was such a crazy time. But when we picked Tory Taylor, and those who have watched 1920 Football Drive, if you haven't watched it, go watch it because it's worth the watch. There's so much gold in there. That's not what this video is about. This video is about Austin Booker, so I'm going to focus on that video. As soon as the Tory Taylor pick was done, which they were planning on the whole time, they showed at the beginning of the 4th round, they were saying, do you think the punter's going to be there? We're going to take the punter, blah, blah, blah. Whole time they were focused on Tory Taylor. I had no clue, obviously. I wanted an edge. I wasn't upset about Tory Taylor. I was upset we didn't get our edge. When we traded back in, I was so freaking stoked. It was as exciting to me as pick 1 and pick 9. It really was. Because I was saying, I was on a podcast and they were saying, what's it going to take for us to come back in? And I said, you've got to trade a round higher in next year's draft if you want to do that. And that's exactly what ended up happening. In fact, I should make a little short of that, a little clip, because that was fun. It happened and I started freaking out. And I wanted Booker, and we got Booker. And they wanted Booker too. Right when Tory Taylor's pick happened on 1920 Football Drive, they start talking about, okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to trade? Let's call Philadelphia. Let's get this done. They wanted him. There's a reason they wanted him. So we got him. And then the comments on the side here ended up with 2 of these. 2 players on that list are now Bears. 2 out of 4 is outstanding. Some of you guys might be there. That might be some of your guys' comments, but everyone was excited about that. Let's try to make it bigger so you guys can see it. So there's some of those. All right, let's go back here. A couple more things. I wanted to read the bottom here. So I didn't get through all of the athletic. I don't want to keep this much longer, but I'm going to go through strengths and weaknesses in the summary here. So let's do this. The strengths, okay? What I've been talking about, listen to what they say. Now, this is Dane Brugler on The Athletic. Strengths, long-limbed, rangy athlete with room to pack on more muscle. And those that are on phones, I apologize. This is going to be too small, so just listen. Uses elongated strides to quickly cover ground as a pass rusher or out in space on perimeter plays. Sprints downhill to threaten the corner, but can also work backside, inside with spins or lateral slides. Can plant and dip the corner to flatten to the quarterback. Plays with force in his hands, including a stutter bull and long arm stab to blockers on their heels, put blockers on their heels. And he does several times on the tape, guys. He has such a burst when he does his long arm stab, because he does have long arms, longer than Maxx Crosby's arms. When he puts that long arm stab out, he put a couple guys on their butts like pancakes. Like, it was fun to watch his tape. Effective club swim move, who started to introduce better deception with his counters. Listen to that. Started to introduce better deception. They're talking about how he got better as the year went on, including jabs, hesitation, and ghost moves. Takes contained responsibilities seriously, bends knees, and naturally unwinds from blocks to find his way to the football. Works hard to not lose sight of the football. Length gives him a large tackling radius, helping him to make shoestring stops. Has pursuit speed to track down ball carriers away from the line of scrimmage. Strong production in his final college season. When it said right there, has pursuit speed to track down ball carriers away from the line of scrimmage, we're talking, guys, there's a play against, which one was it? I think it was BYU. Against BYU, where they're on the 10-yard line. He's on the left side. He contains. He was playing more of an outside linebacker style, but he was on the line. He contains, sees the ball going to the other side. He beelines and beats everybody else there that's getting blocked, and shoulder tackles the guy on the 2-yard line from the opposite side. His pursuit speed is elite. His ball vision is elite. I feel frustrated right now because I can't express to you guys. I played defensive end in high school. I tried to play defensive end in junior college. I was too little, and I got my butt handed to me. But it's a position that I love. I love defensive end. And when I watch him, it's like I want to live through him because he's so freaking fun to watch. I'm going to be watching him every single Sunday. All right, his weaknesses. Now listen to these weaknesses. These are all things that can be fixed. Reminders of his inexperience appear all over the tape. Doesn't have ideal body mass, especially in his lower half on his high-cut, lanky frame, and needs to continue developing his play strength. Upfield gait shows hints of straight-line stiffness. Struggles to unleash his length versus blockers who close space quickly and don't give him a runway. Most of these things can be fixed by getting NFL size. Remember, he's 21 years old. He is not filled out yet. He gets that base like he's already worked on before rookie minicamp. He gets some NFL coaching. That's going to fix everything. Needs to dial back the wasted movements mid-rush and be more efficient. Pops upright in his spin moves. Undisciplined tackler once he reaches the backfield and needs to cut down on the misses. Also had several roughing the passing and targeting flags on his tape. All right, so he's too passionate and he hits too hard. That's his issue. Can be uprooted by double teams and needs better drop in his anchor versus downhill attacks. Inexperienced dropping into space, only one season of production and consistent on-field reps. And most of the things they're saying significantly improved throughout his rookie year. Summary. A sub-package player at Kansas. Booker lined up wide on the offensive tackle, 2- and 3-point stances, and defensive coordinator Brian Borland's versatile front. After he saw only 23 defensive snaps in his 2 seasons at Minnesota, Booker transferred to Lawrence for his 2023 season and led the team in sacks, tackles for loss, and forced fumbles. Despite coming off the bench, averaging 40.2 snaps per game, although he is still figuring out how and when to access his bag of tricks, Booker instinctively uses his rangy frame to create various leverage points and surprise blockers with his forceful hands. He is a lean in his lower half, but he plays well versus the run to stack, stays balanced through contact, and track the football. Okay, here's the highlighted part. Overall, Booker is lacking in body mass and overall experience, just 505 career college snaps. But he is an ascending player with the ability to maximize his athletic traits and body length forth with proper biomechanics. With his tools and instincts, he projects as a rotational player in year one with the potential to become an impact starter. Grade, they have him rated at 3rd round, 78th overall, which is why I said he could be there in the 3rd round when we did that stuff. Guys, I could be long-winded about Austin Booker. I can be long-winded about a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys I get excited on this team for. Tyreek Stevenson, severely undervalued by the league. Top 10 corner, in my opinion. I can put the stats to prove it. I've done a video on it. If you want to look it up, it's the Bears cornerback room is stacked. Something like that, like a month ago. He is going to be a top 10 corner in this league. Gervon Dexter is going to be a starting 3-tech. Despite what some fans think that he doesn't blah, 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 blah enough, he's getting there. Everything you saw in the last third of the season was elite. Braxton Jones, Darnell Wright, and now I'm going to add to that Austin Booker. He's going to be one of the main players that I watched this season. I absolutely think there's something special about Austin Booker, worth following, worth watching along, worth seeing how he progresses and does. 6'4". It shows here 248, but 253, 255, 260, anywhere in there is great. 250 to 260, as long as the base, as long as his legs are strengthened up. He wasn't happy with his vertical. He wasn't happy with his 40 time. But all those things lead to elite athleticism. Good size hands, 9.25, arm length of 33.875, 6'4.5". He fits the build to be an elite edge in the NFL. So I'm stoked, guys. I couldn't be any happier with Austin Booker, the prospect, with Austin Booker, the player that we drafted him, that he's on our team. I love it. Yes, I'm excited. So now I'll look at the comments, and then we're gonna end it for today. It's supposed to be a short video. Sorry, guys. I get long-winded. Yes, Mikey. I like him. I absolutely like him. I'm stoked. I'm stoked that we have Austin Booker. Let's see here. Yeah, that's true too. This isn't a Karan Amagaji video, but if he hadn't been injured, he would have gone higher too. I absolutely believe that. He would have been. I mean, the Packers got Jordan Morgan in the first round. I maybe because he went to Yale, he wouldn't have gone that high. But he plays stronger than Jordan Morgan. I'm one thing I'm excited about is we got a better offensive lineman than the Packers did, in my opinion. I didn't know the Bears had the first Maxx Crosby. Calling the midi fridge. Okay, that's it, guys. I am so stoked for Austin Booker. I promise you I'll try to get a video out. In fact, let's try to sneak a little bit more. We'll see if I get in trouble. If I get in trouble, man, I'm new to this still. Let's pull up. Let's pull up. Which one do I want to do? Hope I don't get in trouble the most. Let's pull up this one. All right. Pause that. Let's go here. Let's be selective. Try to find the right video here. This is versus Texas. This play right here is where you talk about him being slippery. This is him being slippery. Not that one. He's more in coverage there. See how he dropped back in coverage for that one? When he was interviewed at the Combine, they asked where he would like to play on a 3-4 or 4-3. He said either one of those, either one. And they tried to force him. They tried to pigeonhole him into a comment. And he said probably just because of my lack of experience and because of my size, I know I need to put weight on. Probably an outside linebacker, but I really like my knuckles in the grass too. And that's what he said. So, I mean, he's capable of doing both. I wanted to show you guys so much of this stuff. That's contained. See that? He was containing the run really well. Back in coverage again. Comes back on that play, if you can tell. Makes the tackle on that one. All right, watch this one from the outside. I'm going to pause it, see if they don't flag it. Burst through. Slippery. That's what I'm talking about with slippery. That's, I mean, you watch this, they didn't even stand a chance. He got through both. There was a double team on. There was two players, but there were two players. He slipped right between them. Let's see the other angle here. So right there, you see the tackle's already off on him, and he slips right through. I mean, it's crazy to watch how he slipped through that one. He is slippery, and he's got a constant motor. Right there. Yeah, I like watching him. It's fun to watch his tape, and I really liked putting this together too. All right, I'm not gonna show anymore. Hopefully that didn't flag me. I know a lot of people don't understand what that means, but I seriously put together so many hours trying to fix that, and it was set to be released last night. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Just be excited about Austin Booker. That's all I'm saying. He's freaking exciting. I would love nothing more than to see him just take off at this level. Will he do it in his rookie year? Probably not. He's 21 years old, needs to add some size, needs experience. That's the biggest thing he needs, experience. And now he's coming in against the highest elite offensive lineman in the league. He's going to get some pancakes. He's going to get flattened on the ground. He's going to try his ghost move, and he's going to get put on his butt. He's going to go through some rough knocks. So maybe the fans won't think he's sexy right off the bat. Maybe they're not going to say, yeah, Austin Booker, we took him in the 5th round. Looks like a 7th rounder. Looked like an undrafted free agent. He's one of those the Bears are going to work with. And he's one of those that I can see absolutely getting some of those elite plays that all of a sudden the highlight reels fans are like, holy crap, what did we get in this guy? Did we just get Maxx Crosby? And I sincerely think he's going to have some of those big plays, and people are all of a sudden going to be like, holy crap, let's look into this kid more. Because once he gets some stuff down, once he figures out how to play at the NFL level, once he gets a little more size on him, once he has a few more cheeseburgers, once he gets some base in his legs and he's able to contain those double teams a little bit better, he's going to be fun to watch. So, all right, with that, guys, hope you're having a great Memorial weekend. Please, if you know anybody who served or if you want to honor anybody, I have 2 grandpas that served in the military, both served in wars. Neither of them died in combat, but I'm going to their graves. Remember what this weekend is for. It's not just a day off of work. Remember those who fell before us, and I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. And with that, bear down.